Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Caroline Dubois, she is glowing up and she's ready for more greatness. Now, everybody's talking about women's boxing, but Caroline Dubois is that one fighter that I haven't heard anyone disagree with this. They feel Caroline Dubois is the next up. They say she is talented. The only concern could be that she's very aggressive down the stretch. She'll stand on the inside. She takes a few shots, and conditioning could be a bit of an issue. But those are easy fixes. But she is just an extraordinary talent. But anyway, when you take a look at this right here, right, she has her eyes set on the hard-hitting Alycia Turhan. Now, if she beats her, this is what's cool about it, then she will go on. Let me show y'all. She will have, let me go down to 135 pounds, I believe it is. 135 pounds. Yep, and she will have 3 belts. So if she beats Alycia Turhan for the IBF strap, Caroline Dubois will have 3 of the 4 belts. Then all she has to do after that is fight Stephanie Hahn, win the belt, then she become undisputed at 135. And then where it gets really interesting is that now that'll put pressure on Baumgartner for the two of them really to fight for undisputed. And maybe by then Baumgartner would have fought WBC champion Veer, and then Baumgartner again would become the undisputed at 130. So you can really market the fight like they did for Canelo and Crawford, undisputed against undisputed. And that really got the juices flowing, because right now everybody wants to see Caroline Dubois and Alycia Baumgartner. So I want to talk about that. But first I want to point something out. Caroline Dubois is glowing up, and she's making some changes. You know what I'm saying? Now this right here is Caroline Dubois now. You know, Caroline Dubois is out here, man, and trying different things, and she says that she joined the club. So she's trying the wigs, probably going to try a little bit more makeup, and she's just going to play around with some things. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's cool to see Caroline just kind of exploring and trying things and trying to make herself more comfortable. Because at the end of the day, she's a champion. This is a business. You know what I'm saying? And what we're seeing is in women's boxing is just an interesting evolution. But it's not just happening in the ring. It's happening in how fighters present themselves to the world. Now, there's a whole lot of attention on Claressa Shields and how she's made these. I think she's totally overhauled her appearance. But I know what the young people say. They call it glowing up. And let me tell you something. Right now, at the center of all that conversation, right now, is Caroline Dubois, because some people are saying, okay, well, hold on a second. What happened to her just being natural? We kind of like the braids. We like her putting on her little bit of makeup and her little dresses. We like her being simple, being that athlete, being that killer. We don't think anything more or less about her. We just know what she brings to the table, which for most people still feel this way. A lovely personality, very well spoken, and a mean streak like hell when she gets in that ring. But now they see that she's coming out here, man, and, you know, making these changes physically. And again, she's just trying something, you know, and I think it's interesting. And I want to see what direction things go for her. But what I think ultimately this leads into is her pursuit of global star potential. Now, as far as the image shift, why does it matter? I think it's more than just boxing. Fans have noticed a lot about Dubois pairing up with Claressa Shields. But they also heard her mention stuff about how she puts a lot of money into makeup. And they say, okay, she's exploring her appearance more, trying to elevate her presentation and show her more personality in public. And the reaction for some people has been pretty positive. Now, I did notice that there are a lot of fans who support this. They say, you know what, in modern boxing, someone like Dubois, her skill gets her all the respect in the world. But maybe by doing this glow up, she can get the attention that she deserves. Now remember, not everybody's going to look at a woman like Hood Champion and just appreciate them for the way they are. Other people looking for, I call it like the Mardi Gras effect. They want all the lights, the bells, they want all the colors, they want all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not like that, but most people want that. They want something that's going to get your attention. So for her, maybe this is her way of, getting fans' attention, getting casual fans' attention. And again, that pursuit of being the pursuit of global stardom. But her confidence. I'm curious to see how her confidence is going to be. It's nice to know she's willing to evolve, and it's nice to know that she's focused on growth, also outside the ring. But when I look at this, I wonder about that global superstar formula. To become a global star, I think fighters need. And look, this is just my opinion. Y'all may have a different opinion. You have to have a presence. You have to be likable. You have to have a style. You know what I'm saying? You got to be marketable. And that doesn't mean changing who you are. It means expressing different sides of yourselves. And let's be honest, when it comes to women are always trying something different. Irregardless of race. Women are always out here trying something different, a new look, a new this. So Caroline Dubois is doing the same thing. I just think it's like evolution and self-expression, And for some, this resonates beyond boxing. Because Dubois is doing, what Dubois is doing is connecting with, I think, a broader idea. Not necessarily an audience. I think it's an idea she has. People evolving and trying new versions of themselves. I mean, for both men and women, try new looks. Some grow their hair out, some cut their hair off. You see men wearing wigs. Gerald Miller, his ass had a wig on. You see a lot of different things going on. People exploring styles, clothes, outfits, everything, the type of car they drive. So I think people are getting outside of their comfort zones. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for Caroline, when I watch them, this is about her identity. She is trying to sort out her identity. She's trying to get her confidence together. And it's about self-discovery. And there's nothing wrong to watch it, but the problem is she's in the public's eye. So we're all going to sit here and kind of watch her journey. You know what I'm saying? And some people are going to support, some people aren't. The internet's going to internet. But it is what it is. But I try to appreciate the psychological angle. When someone experiments with appearance, it can increase confidence. It can unlock new energy. It can shift how others perceive them. And in a sport built on presence, everything about boxing, especially the women, is presence. That matters. All the way down to the weigh-ins, which a lot of the guys love. They love those weigh-ins. Yeah? They like looking at the women, don't they? But the women come out there, man, and they make sure to make a presence. I'll just leave it as that. But that being said, if she can kind of find her stride with this glow up, and again, for those of you who may just be tuning in, when I look at her here, I'm like, okay, Caroline, she's trying something. But if she can come now and get this glow up to, let me show y'all something. Let me show you. Okay. Here it is. So this is her right here. Okay. This is Caroline Dubois. So you can see that she's trying something. She got the dress on. Nice shoes, dress, little ring, necklace. So she's trying something. And I think she looks nice. It's just my opinion. I like her with or without the wig. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I just appreciate her as a fighter, and I don't really look beyond that when it comes to the ladies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care about anything beyond that. I appreciate them as fighters. But if she can really lock into a style that she feels works for her, and people appreciate the glow up, well, the fight game for her is going to change. It is going to change. Because, look, let's be real. Clarissa wears the wigs. Alycia wears wigs. Some of the other ladies, I don't know who else out there is wearing them. Oh, Franchon wears. She's always, she's really into fashion. She's always trying different things. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I think if she can lock in to the style that's going to give her the confidence she needs, she's going to be even more of a problem when it comes to her fight game. Now, this is the thing. She's supposed to be out here getting ready to try to fight Elif Nurhan, and I'm going to show you her again right here. She is a problem, and I want to make sure that I make that abundantly clear. She is not a soft touch. She's a difficult fight. She's a heavy puncher. She's physically strong. She's capable of ending fights. So she presents a real risk for Dubois. But again, if Dubois is confident in herself and her appearance, and of course she can't bring the wig into the ring, maybe she decides to get, whatever hairstyle she wants. Maybe she comes in the ring with a little more confidence. And that's just going to push her to even bigger and better performance. But what I will tell you is, Dubois is smart in the ring. She's technical. She's highly skilled. But when you're fighting someone who can end fights, power changes everything. And one mistake against a puncher can end a fight instantly. And that's why I like to see Dubois trying to sort things out now before she gets into a fight camp. Figure out what works for her, and then what doesn't. And then whatever works, lock it in. You know what I'm saying? And go all the way. But in order for her to win this fight against Turhan, let me tell you, she's going to have to control that distance, stay disciplined. She can't get into, you don't punch with a puncher. You don't get into prolonged exchanges with a puncher. You just go in there and try to outbox him. And that's all she has to do against Turhan. Outbox her. But if she tries to go and slug with her to prove a point, it becomes a dangerous night. And she could get stopped. So what's at stake? I think a win gives Dubois, I don't think I know, it gives her a third major belt at 135, massive credibility boost, and moment toward Undisputed, and she can tell Alycia Baumgartner, I put more skin in the game. What we doing? But ultimately, I think the Undisputed path is what she should be focused on. A potential showdown, if she gets past Turhan, to fight Stephanie Hahn. So if Dubois secures that belt with Turhan, and then she'll just have to get Hahn's belt, she'll become Undisputed. And that changes everything. Talking about legacy, earning, star power, 100%. Undisputed matters. Being undisputed means there's no debate, no questions, total dominance, legacy. And that's why you got the Baumgartner effect. All the pressure is going to be on AB. Alycia Baumgartner will have all the pressure in the world. You figure by then, Alycia may have fought Serrano. Maybe she has another fight. I don't know. But Alycia by then may have had 2 fights by the time Dubois has 2 more fights. And if Dubois becomes undisputed. And if they both win, there's no reason why them ladies should fight. You know what I mean? I mean, there's how much more skin does Alycia feel Caroline needs to put in the game if Caroline goes on and picks up the last 2 belts in her division and becomes undisputed. So I think you're going to see that pressure shifting across divisions, man. Because right now, when it comes to Alycia, she's a proven star. She's a belt collector. She's marketable. Dubois is proving to be on the path to becoming a big star. She's a belt collector already. And she seems to be working on her marketability. And that's absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, fans are going to demand the fight. They're already demanding the fight. Skill versus skill, star versus star, UK versus US. That's what you got. And I'm telling you, man, these women are going to probably make money hand over fist like Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Like, they're heading that direction. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to understand the business side. That fight, AB against Dubois, would mean big money, global attention, cross-promotional power. It would be amazing. Now, when I say cross-promotional power, well, let me hold on. I'm not going to say that yet because I think Caroline will stay with MVP. I think MVP doesn't mind some of the controversy and the drama. I think they like that. But I'll hold off on the cross-promotional power. I'll leave that alone. But I'll say Caroline Dubois is not just about winning fights. I think she's trying to build her brand, expand her identity, and I think she's trying to position herself for long-term success. I just hope she makes sure to clean up the language a bit and just be professional. It's real simple. Just be professional, man. And things will fall into place. So to become a superstar, you need talent, you need visibility, you need personality, you need marketability, you need big fights. And when it comes to that visibility, it's people watching you. Do you have that presence? And I think Dubois is really focusing on trying to check all those boxes. So at the end of the day, we're watching a transition from champion to global star, well, potential global star. And if she wins the unification, she moves towards Undisputed, continues building her image, and then she becomes one of the most important figures in women's boxing. And that's the direction she's going. So Caroline Dubois, ready for greatness, glowing up. I just wonder, man, how much longer is she gonna remain attached to Claressa Shields? Because I'll be honest with you, we know what the attitude and her being vocal, we know who that reminds us of. But how much longer is she really out here in the pursuit of global stardom, right? If she wants to be this global boxing icon. You know, when are the people on the team going to say, hey, look, we understand that's your friend. We're not saying you can't be friends. But when it comes to the negative stuff, you need to make sure your friend doesn't mention your name. Don't align yourself with that, with the controversy and the drama. You know what I mean? Just, you need to stay away from that. I want to win. And if that does happen, I wonder how Claressa is going to respond to Caroline. Is she going to understand? Or is she going to come out here now and berate Caroline? Because maybe Claressa feels like, oh, Caroline's not being real. Or how do people say, man, what this sounds very ignorant to me. Stand 10 toes down. That's the slang. That's the shit I hear out here. I'm sure there's different ways to say things. I don't know why people say that. Why she make sure she just supports me. I don't know why they got to use all the other bullshit. But anyway, Caroline Dubois seems to be leveling up. And if she's leveling up, the whole division should be worried. Because if you look good, you feel good, you're going to perform good. And Caroline Dubois already performed good, so she's going to be in that ring more great than we've ever seen before. I just hope the internet doesn't internet and take this shit way left like the internet, like they do with everything else. Y'all keep cool. Best of luck to Caroline Dubois, man. Make the AB Caroline Dubois fight sooner than later before somebody loses. Don't be like Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We need to see that fight in the breeze.